Now it's time for Lefties Losing It, and I regret to inform you I found more Raygun content, more terrible dancing to expose later in the segment. But first, it's always funny when lefties laugh at other lefties, and that's just what happened on the Stephen Colbert show when CNN anchor Kaitlan Collins appeared as a guest to talk about Trump, what else, when Colbert made this ridiculous comment.
He knew his attack lines on President Biden. He really has struggled with how to go after someone who's 20 years younger than him, who is a different gender, a different race. It's kind of been this moment where he has not been able to coalesce around a single attack line.
I know you guys are objective over there, that you just report the news as it is. No, I know. CNN makes a... I know
that's supposed to be a laugh line?
I wasn't supposed to be, but I guess it is.
I guess it is. Of course, the biggest laugh Stephen got was unintentional there, but even his lefty audience recognised how hopelessly biased CNN is. And this is an audience that watches this.
Yesterday, a Reuters Ipsos poll had Vice President Kamala Harris leading former President Donald Trump 44 to 42. Woo! It's over!
Oh, looks like it could take on Aussie breakdancer Raygun with those moves. But look, I'm just happy old Steve-O is smiling and dancing again because he was in a dark place not long ago. Remember this mad rant?
I know how numb we've become, but it's not normal. No other candidate for the presidency has ever had to pause his campaign to defend himself in multiple courts. And I would like to point out that in all 7 of his cases, no one doubts that he did these things. We're just sitting around patiently waiting to find out if the wheels of justice will grind fast enough for there to be any consequences.
Imagine how unhinged his little echo chamber must be if he genuinely believes the sham cases against Donald Trump are legitimate. You know, there's a reason why his poll numbers went up every time he was indicted. Even being convicted didn't hurt him with most voters. And that's because despite the efforts of CNN and co, most folks can recognise political persecution when they see it. And on CNN, they really did disgrace themselves overnight with deliberate disinfo after Donald Trump's 2-hour chat with Elon Musk. Indeed, the bulk of the media has been in full propaganda mode about the interview. They've been calling it a big flop, but the numbers tell another story. Despite technical issues that delayed the start, tens of millions, and by some metrics, hundreds of millions, have already listened to part or all of the Trump-Musk interview. But this is how CNN described it.
With 40 minutes of silence and then a bropocalypse of politics. No matter how you frame it or what caused the glitch, what was finally said between Donald Trump and Elon Musk at last night's Big X event can largely be defined as a rant filled with familiar lies and lines of attack.
Familiar lies and lines of attack, is she describing her CNN colleagues there? And CNN were at it again with this shameless bit of fake news. This is astonishingly dishonest.
I want to play one exchange that was kind of classic. Well, there were a lot of exchanges that were classic Donald Trump, but this one really stuck out to us.
And Nagasaki were bombed, but now they're like full cities again. So
right,
it's
right,
really
right.
not something that, you know. So it's not as scary as people think, basically.
So that was more Elon Musk than Donald Trump talking about, sort of suggesting that what happened almost 80 years ago, I think 80 years ago next year, the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, now it's okay, kind of trying to blow off the impact of that.
But that was not what they were talking about at all. And CNN has deceptively edited that clip and not even mentioned that the discussion was actually about nuclear energy and why it has a bad name because of nuclear bombs. Trump mentioned nuclear energy needs a rebrand. The unedited chat CNN cut up was over 2 minutes. Here's a little bit of it unedited.
There's the bad side of nuclear, which is a nuclear war, very bad side. But there's also, I think, nuclear electricity generation is underrated.
You're right.
And it's actually, people have this fear of nuclear electricity generation, but it's actually one of the safest forms of electricity generation. It's just a huge misunderstanding.
If you listen to the whole discussion, you see they weren't saying nuclear bombs and destruction were no big deal, as CNN would have you believe. Let's go to the UK now, where people are being locked up for so-called online violence. We can't tell you precisely what most of them have posted online, but here's a judge sentencing one young man to 20 months in prison.
You have been committed for sentence, having pleaded guilty to an offence of publishing written material which is threatening, abusive or insulting, intending thereby to stir up racial hatred. This offence is so serious that an immediate custodial sentence is unavoidable.
Threatening, abusive or insulting. The first one should come with criminal consequences. You can't threaten people, but since when is insulting commentary something you can be chucked in jail for, other than in places like China or North Korea and now the UK? It's the same country, incidentally, where someone involved in a machete attack that killed a child can walk away from prison after just 6 months. Now, let's have a look at woke academic and breakdancer Raygun, the woman who scored 0 for all her dances at the Paris Games. But we're told she's the best female breakdancer in Australia, and to say otherwise is sexist trolling. Here's the Australia's Olympic Committee's Anna Mears.
With trolls and keyboard warriors and taking those comments and giving them airtime has been really disappointing. If you don't know Rachel's story, in 2008, she was locked in a room crying, being involved in a male-dominated sport as the only woman, and it took great courage for her to continue on and fight for her opportunity to participate in a sport that she loved, and that got her to winning the Olympic qualifying event to be here in Paris. She is the best breakdancer female that we have for Australia.
I'm not sure if she's even the best breakdancer in her family, but let's hear from the woman herself.
I could be representing Australia. It would be an amazing opportunity and just something I never thought would happen.
But Rachel is even more excited for the next generation of B-boys and B-girls.
Already there's a lot more family support for people to get in breaking, because I know people of my generation and earlier, their families were generally like, what are you doing? Why are you wasting your time with this?
You should listen to your family. Indeed, listen to anyone telling you not to do this. Listen to those people, please. But Raygun has always had supreme confidence in her abilities. Just ask her.
I think my understanding of musicality going into breaking was very strong. My body awareness, my coordination, my eye for technique has been much stronger going into the dance.
And you can understand why she may be a tad delusional, because she kept getting plaudits and awards despite having no discernible dancing ability.
The winner of Sports Star of the Year is Rachel Guns. Wowzers, thank you so much. I think it is just so cool that a breaker has won Sports Star of the Year.
And sadly, copyright issues mean we can't bring you her Olympic performance, but we can all enjoy some of her other stellar work. Wow, how did she ever qualify for the Games? I mean, look at that. You know what? Maybe we can blame her coach, Samuel Free, aka Sammy the Free, who is also her husband and a fellow breaker. Check out these moves. I think we know where some of that choreography came from. Goodness me. But don't you dare mock any of that, because Australian Sports Commission CEO Kieran Perkins will call you a keyboard warrior.
And all of the commentary and the dialogue that's gone on, all the keyboard warriors and haters out of there, get back in your box. We are Australia, we are Australian. To have one of our athletes so proud to wear our uniform and then to bring what's unique about us to the international stage, We should all be proud. It was an awesome event. It was a great display of different thinking, and, you know, I'm a huge Raygun fan. She has made us all proud.
Made you proud, Kieran? Made the rest of us laugh? Fancy trying to bully Australians into not having a laugh over something so obviously absurd. Give it a spell. And talking about having a laugh, Jimmy Fallon wasn't letting this comedy gold go to waste.
It's Raygun, everybody. Oh, no, Raygun. Thank you for stopping by. I have to ask you this. How are you feeling since your performance? Oh, my God, no. I see, okay, yeah. I understand. No, very good. Okay, Raygun, okay, Raygun. Thank you, Raygun. Raygun, I see you speak through your dance moves, I understand. Okay, so is there anything else you'd like to tell us? Yeah, that one. Me? You want me to dance with you?